Hello, so welcome to the part two of my presentation about robotics in the classroom. So, kung kanina we talk about on the models that we'll be using in designing lessons for robotics that some are, this time naman, our discussion will be focusing more on the robotics in the elementary for the elementary learners, and of course yung designing lessons and sample lessons in integrating robotics into the teaching and learning process, most especially for the elementary learners. So ayun po, yun po yung ating discussion for the part 2. Okay, so robots. I'm sure this is not your first time to hear this word kasi nga I believe prior to my session meron ng konting introduction about robotics, and kahit walang session alam natin kung ano yung robots, or I mean we have an idea about robots. What is robot? Sabi dito, a robot is a machine that can perform tasks either by itself or by a human controlling it. So either it can be a programmable or utilizing remote control, something like that. And did you know that the word robot was created and used before real robot ever existed? So even before, kahit wala pang robots, actually they are using robot na word na. So kumbaga futuristic, and the same time futuristic sila noon, and now it actually came to a realization that we have robot now. Not only in Japan, we have robots here in the Philippines. Actually, may mga robots na kayong hinahawakan ngayon if you are holding your unit in robotics, which is, it can be, yes, it's possible that we can actually integrate this into the teaching and learning process. Now, there are different types of robots. We have the humanoid robots and everything. I don't know if this was discussed by the previous presenter, or yes, speaker for this training. Dami tayong klaseng robots. We have the humanoids, we have the type A, type 2, something like that. But we'll be focusing more on the wheeled robot. Kasi ganito yung klaseng robot ang ating gagamitin, most especially for our learners in the elementary. And specifically, ang robot natin gagamitin is MBot or WeBot and the Kibo robot. So, I'm sure meron tayong unit dito na pakita na sa atin kung ano ba po yung Kibo, and then ano ba po yung MBot and WeBot. Now, for Kibo, it's actually a screen-free robot kit for kids that lets 4 to 7-year-old create, design, decorate, and bring their own robot to life. So, sabi dito is screen-free robot. So, since ang target po na participant po, or ang target user po ng ating Kibo robot ay mga primary levels, kahit wala po siyang computer, the robot can be programmed. So, kasi nga screen-free po siya, hindi mo na kailangan ng computer. Actually, for history, yung unang Kibo po noon, kailangan ng screen, kailangan ng computer para mag-program. But this time, wala ng screen. So, diretso na robot, and then plus kung ano man po yung programming na means po na gagamitin po ng Kibo, which is madidiscuss mamaya. Kibo fosters the following learning goals in young children. First is the foundational engineering concept of sturdy building and construction. So by this, student can actually or next to the pupils can actually build their own robots. They can change yung mga sensors. Madami po siyang sensors po dyan. Meron po siyang distance sensor, meron po siyang sound sensors, and they can yung mga learners natin pwede nilang i-manipulate. Hence na build po yung foundational engineering concept po nila. And then foundational programming skill of sequencing, repeat loops, and conditional branching. So hindi lang po yung engineering concept, at the same time since kailangan pong i-program po ng mga bata na enhance din po yung programming skills po ng mga bata. I don't know for this one, kasi kinuwento sa akin nung mga nag-benchmark, there was a time of Ma'am Vilma, madaming mga supervisors na nag-attend sa benchmarking sa Singapore, which is actually si Ma'am B yung nag-initiate, and then dito nila na-discover or dito nila nakilala si Kibo. And merong research, it's actually a long-term research conducted by the Singaporean that merong epekto yung programming, yung sequencing skill doon sa comprehension and at the same time reading skills ng mga bata. Kaya kung mataas po daw po yung or maganda po yung programming skills ng mga bata, maganda din daw po yung comprehension and then reading skills ng mga bata. Yun po ay based sa research. That's the reason why pinush talaga ni Ma'am V yung integration or utilization of Kibo Robotics in our division, which is I believe pati na rin po ang Ilocos Norte. This one, hindi po complicated kasi nga kapag narinig natin yung word na programming skill, okay, programming skill, napakabongga, napaka-complicated. Ang naiisip natin is code. Code, like forward slash, mga open close parentheses, mga ganun na. But this one, ang utilize lang po ng mga bata, it's like, it's a block, color-coded, and manipulative lang po yung programming means po ng ating Kibo. Good enough for primary level. And open-ended creativity and artistic design. So, ito po yung mga foundation, ay yung mga learning goals na pwedeng ma-foster po ng Kibo. Napaka-simple lang po. Akala natin siguro forward, backward, clap, something like that. Ang pwedeng gawin ng Kibo, but napakadami. And this is under the umbrella of this 3 learning goals na pwedeng i-offer ng ating Kibo Robotics. Okay. Now, each Kibo programming blocks has a different barcode, and then the robot's embedded scanner reads each barcode and sends the instruction to the robot. So, ito po yung tinatawag natin na barcode na dito na po magpo-program yung mga bata. They can actually arrange it depende kung ano po yung goal nila or depende kung ano yung isa-set na instruction ng teacher, or pwede din na yung mga bata na mismo yung mag-sequence doon sa mga blocks natin for programming para gumalaw po yung ating robots and para ma-execute niya po yung programming na ginawa ng mga bata. So that's Kibo. Let's go to the MBOT or WeBot. Kung kanina napakasimple, ito naman medyo hindi naman siya complicated, kaya lang mas advanced compared doon sa Kibo. MBOT is an education robot for beginners that makes teaching and learning robot programming simple and fun. As they go, they will learn about a variety of robotic machinery and electronic parts, get to grips with the fundamentals of block-based programming and develop their logical thinking and design skills. So medyo mas advanced po ito. Kung kanina yung programming po, it's utilizing yung blocks. For this one, meron po siyang program-based na utilize, which is po yung Scratch. Ipapakita natin. So ayan po, that's the part of it, of the MBOT. And ito po yung programming naman niya, and hindi na po siya screen-free. Ang gagamitin mo to program is with your smartphone or with your laptop. Ito po yung gamit po ng ating MBOT or WeBot. But if you look at it, wala pa rin siyang codes, wala pa rin siyang mga hard codes, pero mayroon na po siyang mga programming language po siya. Actually, they called it as visual programming. Kasi nakikita natin, nababasa natin, embed program, wait until on the board bottom and press, and depende kung ano yung ating iproprogram na i-execute po yung ating embed. With just a screwdriver, the step-by-step instruction and study schedule, children can build a robot from scratch and experience the joys of hand-on creation. So, ayan po. Konting recap. For Kibo, ito po ang gamit niya. For Kibo, ang gamit niyang programming is blocks. Blocks lang po. Ito po yung ating blocks na tinatawag. And then if you look at this one, meron po siyang barcode. Meron po siyang mga barcodes dito, which is i-scan po gamit po yung Kibo robot. Meron pong scanner po yung ating Kibo robot. Meron po siyang scanner. Ayan, meron po siyang scanner, which is pwede natin gamitin to scan po yung prinogram po ng mga bata. Okay, so that's it. And for MBOT naman, we are utilizing visual programming. So ang difference po ng Kibo, screen free, MBOT may screen, gagamit ka ng laptop or smartphone. Kibo is scan, and then this one, yung ating MBOT is kailangan ng laptop at dito ka magpo-program. And then kumbaga external, talagang nahahawakan, namamanipulate yung mga bata yung Kibo. That's for that's for Kibo. And then for MBOT, kailangan ng laptop to program. We call this block programming for Kibo, and we call it visual programming for the MBOT. Now, since alam na natin kung paano po yung pagproprogram ng ating Kibo and then MBOT, now let's go to paano ba tayo mag-design ng lesson integrating robotics. Okay, now there are 5 ways to integrate robotics into our lesson. First, it can be a springboard to the lesson, or it can be a motivation. It can be integrated to the activity, or it can be an assessment, or it can be a performance task. So, hindi yung tinitignan natin yung competency, like wala naman sakto doon. We can use it as a springboard. We can devise an activity that could foster like their interest, that could foster the interest doon sa topic, or pwede din na we can utilize yung robotics as part of your assessment, or you can devise an activity para sa yung performance task integrating robotics. So again, we have 5 ways. It can be springboard to the lesson, it can be motivation, it can be activity, it can be assessment, it can be in the performance task. I'll be showing you sample lessons later on at nagamit siya either of these 5 ways to integrate robotics into the lesson. Ayun po. Now, kagaya ng sinabi ko po, yung ating lesson plan, we will be, I'm not introducing a lesson plan na ibibigay natin sa Department of Education since meron tayong DepEd order for the lesson plan. Now, we're always saying that this is an attachment to your DLL for mas in-depth na guide for the lesson plan integrating robotics. You can utilize this one. Okay. Meron po siyang for apat na column. So we have the design level, we have the website and title, or website URL or title, or that can be your reference. And then yung third po is we have the student task. And then let us remember that it can that it should be Wait lang po. Let us remember that yung 4C po, it should be embedded sa ating student task. So, dapat meron siyang critical thinking, meron siyang collaboration, meron siyang communication, and meron siyang creativity. And the last column na pa, we have the question that students will answer as they browse selected with. This can be your essential question or this can be your guide question. Focus on the meaning making and transfer. Okay. Now, of course, please take note of this URL. This is the template para hindi na kayo magle-layout. This is the template of the one that I have shown you earlier. Ito po yung template kasi ito po yung gagamitin natin for the design of your lesson plan. So, ito po, it's www.deped.in/ilocosrobots1. So, ang gagawin nyo, mag-download na lang, isa lang mag-download, and then kapag na-download, kung mahinang internet, ipa-copy po na lang. Okay po ba? So, ayan po ang ating template. So, kunin nyo na po, and then, ipapakita ko po yung sample po ng ating template or lesson plan. Wait lang po ha. Tanggalin ko lang po siya. And asan po yung ating sample? Here. Alright. So, this one, tingnan nga natin kung okay. Okay, ito po yung sample lesson plan. This is for grade 1. Kung titignan po natin, this is for grade 1 under po ng subject na English. Ang kanyang topic is predicting outcomes. Again, this is English, this is grade 1, and this is predicting outcomes. And then content standard, of course, nakikita po dito sa curriculum guide. And then your objective po. And then objectives, you have the use and understand character, indicates and setting to make prediction, program the robot to execute the predicted outcomes, and work cooperatively with group mates. Okay, so titignan po natin yung ating lesson plan or learning plan. We call it as actually a learning plan. Under design level, we have different activities. Na na-identify siya into the different levels of ICT integration. Now, if you look at it, it's only for augmentation, modification, and redefinition. Ito yung sinasabi natin na if we're going to create a learning plan, hindi naman po kailangan natin kompletuhin yung SUM-R. Okay? This one, kung wala po siyang substitution, umpisa na po siya sa augmentation, modification, redefinition. Can be augmentation and modification only. It can be substitution and modification. It can be the whole of it, substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. Or it can be modification and redefinition only. Again, hindi po kailangan po na dire-diretso po na kailangan natin na itapusin po or ilagay po yung SUM-R model. Okay. Now, under here po sa ating website URL and title, of course, dito na po tayo maglalagay yung ating mga references sa mga activities natin. Okay. So, for augmentation, we have this resources. It's augmentation, of course. It's a video. And then modification, it's an interactive material. Interactive material po ito. It's Edpuzzle kasi meron po siyang automatic feedback and it promotes independent learning. Now, for student task, ano po here? Ito po, here, ano po yung gagawin ng mga bata dito utilizing this technology resources. So for this, for collaboration communication, magbe-brainstorm daw sila, working in groups, and then for critical thinking, create conclusion for every story, situation read or watched, and then tell clues that is used to come to that conclusion. So ayan po yung activity nila for augmentation. And then for modification, critical thinking, predict what will happen next to a given situation. So, yan naman po yung activity nila, utilizing of course these resources. Now, ang dami-daming mga interactive materials na pwede nyong gawing reference for modification and augmentation. Now, for ano naman po, for the questions that students will answer as they browse select website, ito po yung mga guide questions. Guide questions, what do you think will happen next after the event? What will Tammy do? What is your prediction? What do you think is the book? So this will be your guide questions to your learners as they're going to perform their task. So ayan po. Now, let's go to the redefinition kasi nga dito tayo mag-focus kasi nga dito na niya linagay po yung Kibo Robotics. So yung kanyang augmentation and modification, walang robotics po na involved po doon. So that's fine. Depende kasi if you're the pilot in your classroom. Kung gusto niyo diretso na robotics na, that's fine. Pero kung gusto niyo na madami mo ng activities, that's fine as well. Okay, this one, the teacher utilizes the robotics as part of her activity. Okay, kasi nga titignan natin, may performance task yung mga bata involving Kibo Robotics. So, ito po ang kanyang critical thinking. Given a certain situation, predict the possible conclusion. Collaboration, the pupils in their group will work together to predict what will happen next to the story. And then communication, distribute and discuss the task among peers and predict possible outcome to a situation given. And then pupil will choose codes and blocks to program the movement of the to execute the predict outcome. Just like this one. For Kibo, critical thinking, given a certain situation, predict the possible conclusion. Now, if you look at this one po, hindi po, ang ginamit po ni teacher, hindi po yung totoong blocks muna. So, nag-replicate muna siya ng mga papers, or nag-replicate muna siya ng blocks. Kasi nga, dito sila magbe-brainstorm. Okay, so, ano ba yung next na situation? Mape-predict. And then, they're going to program it utilizing muna yung replica ng blocks. Kasi nga, of course, iisa yung, kung madami kayong Kibo robot, that's fine. But, yung kasing teacher, iisa lang yung Kibo robot niya. So, para ma-facilitate na mas mabilis, nag-replicate muna siya ng mga blocks na dun sila magbe-brainstorm. So, that's for critical thinking. Next is collaboration. Pupil in their groups will work together, predict what will happen. So, eto na. So, mag-predict na sila kung ano bang mangyayari. And then, pupils will choose codes and block to program the movement of the robot to execute the predict outcome. So, kapag time na ng mga bata, punta na sila sa harap and they're going to they're going to program it utilizing the correct sequence of the blocks. And then, of course, eto na, i-scan na po ng mga bata, distribute and discuss the task among the peers and predict the possible outcome. So, ayan, nagkakaroon na siya ng discussion. At the same time, hindi lang siya sa peer, na dinidiscuss din nila sa the whole class kung bakit ganun po yung ginawa nilang outcome, and at the same time, yung prinogram po nila. And then, after that, of course, eto na, mangyayari na, and then they're going to execute it utilizing po yung Kibo robot. ang ginawa po is, ang in-execute ng robot po doon, kung titignan ninyo, nag-forward siya at pumunta siya sa isang place, nag-forward siya, and then pumunta siya sa isang place, may specific place po dyan, either a park or an hospital, and then nag-shake po siya. So it can be siguro a bar, hindi pa, kasi that's for elementary, a party, something like that, na nagsumayaw siya or nag-shake siya. So yun po yung illustration. So that's for Kibo Robotics. Kung titignan niyo po ito, this is contextualized actually. Kung nakikita ko po ito, this is the Hospital of Batak. And ito, di ko siya masyadong nakita. This can be in Jollibee, Plaza Maestro, or anything. At least meron pa rin po siyang essence ng contextualization. So, that's for Kibo Robotics. Okay, kung titignan niyo po, nag-clap po yung mga bata. Bakit po nag-clap yung mga bata? Kasi ginamit po nila is yung sound sensor na kapag nag-clap ka, gagalaw po yung robot. So, can you imagine that? Yung mga bata, alam nila na ganon. Since they are actually a user of this robotics. Ayan. So, that's for Kibo Robot. And then, let's go to the M-bot or Webot naman. Okay, ano ba yung M-bot or Webot? Okay. Now, for M-bot and Webot, let's see a sample lesson plan. This one. I have a sample here. Okay, here pala. Okay, this one again, same pa din po siya na ginamit natin. Meron siyang design level, pero this time ang ginamit na lang level is, sorry for that, modification and redefinition. Kung yung robotics natin, nagamit siya kanina sa redefinition, this time nagamit naman yung robotics under modification. So, magkakaroon sila ng game which is Guess Me, Balloon Fight. The learners will guess what balloon technique was being described on the PowerPoint presentation using their M-bots per group. The teacher will prepare balloons at the playing field with names of the different separation technique, and the pupils will position their M-bot at the starting line. As the teacher reads the question about the different separation techniques, the pupil will choose from the balloons with the correct answer to pop it. So, maglalaro. Yung M-bot po, mayroon siyang balloon doon sa likod. And then, maglalaro sila ng balloon fight. Parang ganon. Utilizing, of course, remote control naman this time. Wala siyang programming. The group will get the highest points will be considered the winner. And of course, this one, ito po yung mga guide questions po niya. Ayan. And then, yung sa redefinition, of course, ang gagawin po nila is the pupil, wait lang po. The pupils will group into poll, will make ICT output about beneficial effect to their chosen separation technique. Video presentation, flyers, power presentation, and then brochure. And of course, not to forget, ito po yung mga yung rubrics natin. Later on, I'll be showing you sample of the rubrics as well that you can utilize for your lesson plan. Now, I'll be showing you another sample for M-bot, lesson plan for M-bot na hindi naman po, ito po, it's a semi-detailed lesson plan naman po siya. Ginamit po yung robotics under review. Sabi niya, the 4 groups will sort the ball with the names of the matter attached in the playing field. They will sort the matter whether it is solid, liquid, gas, or plasma in this state. The pupil will use M-bot in sorting the balls in playing the field. So, an example will be this. Ito po si teacher. And then if you look at this one, ito po, Meron po siyang, andito po yung mga sample ng matter, and then uh, isosort po nila into solid. Ito po yung solid. And then, meron po siyang gas doon. And then, liquid. And then, plasma. So, nakagroup po siya. Depende kung sino yung madaming, una siguro or pinakamadaming maisosort. Maisosort for that. Gamit ang ating mbot. This is an example video for it.
Okay, we have 1 point for Putri.
Ayun. Okay, so again, yung robot po natin, it can be programmed or it can be controlled by human. This one, in-execute po nila utilizing po remote control naman po siya. So, ayun.
Okay, we have
And then nagamit po siya sa review part naman. Nagamit po siya sa review part. And then the work, ito na po yung kanilang mga activities. Meron po siyang activities. Again, kagaya ng sinabi ko, for robotics, it can be integrated 5 parts. It can be springboard, it can be motivation, it can be yung sa review, assessment, activity, or it can be a performance task. Okay. Now, this is the sample. Ano po yung pwede nating rubrics? This is a sample of rubric na pwede nyong i-modify. Pwede nang gamitin na kasi nga, kung magpa-perform yung mga bata, just like yung first natin kanina, dapat meron tayong rubrics sa participation, sa teamwork, sa robot discussion, sa robot design rather, programming, time management, and task completion. So, ito po yung gagamitin natin na rubrics na possible na gagamitin natin na rubrics para mag-gradean natin yung mga bata. You can actually copy this or you can search po sa internet. Napakadaming rubrics po na pwede natin gamitin. I-cite lang po natin siya as reference. Okay? So you can take a picture of this one kasi you can adapt it. Kasi kapag pagpapa-performance task tayo, dapat meron talaga tayong rubrics. Okay. So, this one, ito po yung mga useful, yung mga links natin. So, yung template po ng lesson plan natin, ito po yung link niya. Yung presentation ko po kanina, itong ginagamit kong PowerPoint presentation, part 1 and part 2, ito po yung kanyang mga link. And then, yung sample lesson plan natin, we have keyboard robot. Ito po yung sample, yung link niya. And then, yung mbot po, since dalawa po yung pinakita kong sample lesson plan, ito po yung links po niya. Paki-ano na lang po. Picture na lang po. And then, as promised, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, at the end of my session, magbibigay ako ng codes para sa inyong Microsoft certificate, since this is a registered digital session with the Microsoft. Ito po yung ating code, paki-jot down, it's JV3HCST360FY2019. And paano siya i-redeem? Meron akong tutorial. You can just go to this link. It's deped.in/redeem code. Ayun po. Kung may mga questions po kayo, I have yung mga contact information ko dun sa part 1. You can just leave me a message sa aking Facebook, or pwede din akong tawagan siguro as long as walang conflict yung time ko bukas doon sa aming session. So, ayun po. And yung aking session ngayon nasa YouTube channel ko, pero ibibigay ko na lang sa link kina Ma'am Rem siguro, kasi di ko pa makuha yung link kasi i-upload ko pa lang. Kaya ibibigay ko na lang yung link para maging guide ninyo. Okay? So I think we're done. Thank you so much for listening and thank you so much for your understanding. Wala po ako ngayon dyan but made sure na lahat ng didiscuss ko sana ngayon for face-to-face till the same diniscuss ko through a digital session with you. Alright? So, thank you so much and God bless. Goodbye.